What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas Fan01 here, and today we are back at it again with another Transformer figure review, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Transformers crossover. Well, technically it's not really even a crossover because Hasbro owns both licenses, but we are going to be taking a look at the Transformers crossover Star Wars The Mandalorian, otherwise known as the N-1 Starfighter from that one episode in The Mandalorian, which I have not seen a ton of, but I know enough just to get me by. So, yeah. On the side of the packaging, we have all of these control panels and what looks like an arc reactor, but it's not. On the back here, we have all of the product images for everything that they want to show off. Yeah, that's pretty much what goes on there. It's a really strange figure, this, so, yeah. Anyways, on the side, we have more computer panels and radar things. And now that we've done that, we can remove said packaging and we can bring this thing in for review. And don't mind the scratches. I have a kitty cat who's not very happy right now because he's not in this room. But this is what it comes with, and I think this figure might be in the running for the figure that comes with the most accessories, that is first-party consumer based and widely accessible. The reason being is because he doesn't come with just one or two accessories. And take note, one of them, actually not even one of them, three of them are already on him in vehicle mode. So let's already not even knock that. So with all of that included, we also get all of these effects parts. We get this piece, which is extremely important, and I'll explain why in a minute. We get this. And we get this, which I do like that there is the, well, I think it's the ram horn or something like, something like that. Whatever it be, I think it's, I can't remember what it is, but that does, it's nice that it does have the symbol of the beast he took down. So I thought that was pretty cool. So, but yeah, as I stated, loads of accessories, and 3 of them are already on him. So yeah, yeah. So let's clean all of this up with some very wonderful, wonderful computer editing magic. Ready? And let's bring this back into play. And we're going to, let's just get all of the things on him that need to be on him. So let's start with these, which you just kind of loosely fit those over the stabilizer pieces here. And this is one of my problems with this figure. This tab particularly does not want to stay put. Every time I try, it just comes up. I don't know why it does. I've tried to keep it down. I've tried filing things. It just don't want to. It just don't want to stay down. I don't know why, but you have that. Then they want you to take these, not this one. Excuse me. They want you to take these ones, plug these into the front here, and then they want you to take this one, plug it back here. So that way, it looks like this. So yeah. However, I have found another one that looks pretty cool as well. So, take these pieces here, and you can fit these on the front here. So, that way it looks like this. And we have this one that goes right there. So yeah, I think that looks cool too. So. But anyways, let's remove all of these pieces because these come back into play later. So we'll remove all of those. And let's get into the more usable accessories. So the first thing you may have noticed is this. And this is a piece that's going to turn into a stand. This piece right here is going to act as the base. This is going to peg right on in there. And the reason I bring this piece up first is because this piece is not really integral, but this is how it stores. So you're going to take this, and there's tabs on this stand piece, and you're just going to line them up like so. And then you're going to basically just fold it around and just kind of get everything looking like... Okay, maybe we don't do it that way. Maybe it's supposed to go the other way around. Yeah. Yep. That's where I screwed up. So, But you want it to go like that, and it tabs all the way in on that, and then it allows it to look like this. So then there is a port at the bottom of the foot here. You're going to take the stand, and you're going to just plug that right in there, and there you have that. And I think that looks nice. So yeah. However, as I stated, we need to remove these certain things because all of these things are key things for him in... Actually, you know what? We will just remove the cape, or not the cape, well, yeah, the cape. We'll just remove that and we'll put this on the stand here just for scale comparison. So here he is with Gigawatt. Here he is with Agent Knight. Here he is with, oh goodness, Party Wallop. And finally, here he is with the flimsiest of the ones that I've got. Here he is with Ectotron. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the stand on this guy here because this is the reason why. And we're going to then come to this back section here, and we're just going to rip all of this off. And really quickly, I want to show this because this feels like an extremely missed opportunity, Hasbro, for you to expand a couple of ranges in your product lines. So with this, you're supposed to just remove it like that. And there, you'll also notice there is a port down here at the bottom. What you're supposed to do with this is you're supposed to take it and you're supposed to shove it like that. And you'll also notice that there's the designs of the cradle that he was in. And then you can pop this open. And for some reason, they chose not to give us a little Grogu to throw inside there. I don't know why. Maybe it was because the list of accessories was already too long. Maybe they didn't want to give too much in one box. I don't know. But this piece is supposed to stay on this, and this is how this part transforms. So we had to transform the back piece first before we got into this. So we're going to take this, and we're just going to remove it and leave it off to the side. This piece is going to turn into a gun, so you're going to take it. There's a double hinge. You're just going to take it and just fold it all the way up, and just like clockwork. We have... This is where tools come into play. Because I don't have fingernails, so yeah. So flip out the handle, and there is a weapon, like so. So we have that, ready to go. We move that now off to the side. Now we can get into this guy. So this guy's a bit fun. What you're going to do is you're going to first come to these panels on the side of the thrusters, and you're just going to kind of, if you can, loosen them up as best as possible. See if you can even untab them, because sometimes they don't like to untab. Okay, so bring this down forward first, then pop this up like so, and then take these wing sections, kind of just angle them up a little bit more like so, and like that. And then that's pretty much what that's going to do first. Then come to this back section here. I'm going to lift it up, and all of these tabs just correlate with spots on the back of the underside of the Starfighter here. I'm going to split this whole thing here. I'm going to come to this panel here. It's kind of hard to show this off on camera here. Let me see if I can get my light to just show off everything properly. So you're going to come down here. You're going to want to move this all the way out of the way. Extend the leg down. Rotate to make sure everything is properly oriented. And then you're going to take this piece, bring it all the way down like so, and then you're going to take this piece, rotate it all the way around, bring it down around like so, and then that's just going to close that up and tab into place. And then you have a leg done. Firstly, Hasbro, I appreciate the sentiment of that, but I also think that's a little over-engineered for a crossover. All of your other crossovers have been very simple, This is not simple. So, yeah. Anyways, to continue, come in, bring this up, fold this around, rotate this around, extend said leg, fold this all the way down, bring this back, clip that into place, straighten the legs out, and then if you haven't done so, because this piece is so freaking loose, rotate the waist if you haven't. So, yeah. Next, we're going to come to this section here, kind of move some of this up, kind of get some of this stuff out of the way if you need to. So, you're going to come down to this section here, you're going to take these pieces, you're going to bring them all the way up, and then you're going to take this section here, and you're just going to kind of open it up, and then bring these wing section pieces up as well. Open it all the way up to make sure you can flip out the head. Then you're going to take this, bring this up, take this piece, and then somehow rotate it properly, and then shove all of that in there. And actually, don't shove all of that in there quite yet. We're not done yet. There's still more to do. So come bring all of this back, and then you're just going to close it up on the backpack like so. And make sure that these wing sections, or these pieces here, fold into the back like so. And that will kind of simulate the jetpack. So then you're going to take these shoulder pieces, bring these all the way up, make sure that there is a section here with the tab that's going to go right over here, and you're just going to kind of just thoop those into place. So thoop them into place, and then you're going to take the chest, close it all the way up, and make sure that the waist is supposed to stay in the same spot. It's not supposed to move. Just bring these all the way around, take these bottom panels, open them up, flip it out, close those up, do the same thing on the other side, make sure all of this folds down properly. Goodness. Open this up, come on, there we go. Fold out the hand, close this up. And now we are going to apply all of the ridiculousness that we need to apply to this guy, to Mando here, in order to make him proper. One thing you do want to do is there is a tab here that goes into this, and you want to make sure that that folds down into his foot. I apologize, I did not mention that earlier. You want to do that to make it flush. So there we have that. However, we're not finished. We need to take this, plug this into his hands, or his hand. Actually, I think it's this hand that they want that one plugged into. So, do that. And then they want his sidearm. This does remove from that there. They want that to go here, like this. And then, oh, I also forgot, cape does store on here, and you do want this on him like in proper, so let's apply that. There we go. Let's bring in Grogu's little pram here. Let's grab an effects part that's supposed to go down here, allegedly, and this one's supposed to go up here. So then this one goes, whoop. Here, let's apply this before we put it in his hand here. So that one goes there, holds out like that. And there, I do believe we have the Mandalorian, or the N-1 Starfighter, in its robot mode. And I gotta say, I do like this. Now take note, as I've stated, I'm not the biggest of big Star Wars fans. I know enough to get me by if I'm ever confronted with information. I also know that it's not, I also know my information will never be perfect, so there's always that too. So, but there is Din Djarin, or otherwise known as Mando, the Mandalorian, in his robot mode. So I do dig this. In fact, this was actually one of the few that I actually was looking forward to, but then I was like, I'm not a Star Wars fan. But then once we got into it on the live stream, This felt very nice in my hands. I wouldn't complain about this. In fact, there is not a single problem that I can find with this guy. And I'm not gonna lie, like I said, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I'm a Transformers nerd. This feels like a proper crossover figure. If they were to have released the Star Wars Transformers line today, in this day and age, I can't say that I wouldn't pick it up. Because if this was in the line, I would pick it up. This is a very, very, very nicely done figure. So I can't complain about that. The transformation was smooth. I can also tell you the joints on this guy definitely don't feel like they're going to break. The engineering on this tab is quite nice. I like the fact that we have the cape. I like Grogu's little pram. I feel like they missed an opportunity to possibly, have two different heads for this guy. Have Grogu be like a little headmaster that flips out and it turns into the head for this guy. I don't know if that's what originally was planned. I don't even know if that's the case. So, however, we are going to move this off to the side here because now it's time to get into scale comparisons because you all know we love that. That's for sure. We definitely love our scale comparisons here on this channel. So yeah, let's get my light fixture ready to go. So, anyways. Here he is next to Gigawatt. Here he is next to Agent Knight. Speaking of lights, getting in the way. Here he is next to Party Wallop. And lastly but not leastly, here he is next to Gigawatt. Okay. So now bringing everything back into frame here. Alright. How do we rank this? Actually, better yet, let's get into final thoughts, then let's rank it. I apologize, folks. So final thoughts on this guy. As I stated, I don't hate it. I like it. It looks good. I wish it was a different kind of accessory with this. I wish it was either the Darksaber or the Beskar spear. I wish it was one of those. It's maybe something along the lines to go with that shield. But the thing that really frustrated me the most about this was the fact that there was no Grogu to go in the pram. And not to mention with the new Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming out, I could not think of a better reason why they should not upgrade this into another set. I can picture them doing something for the movie release and them releasing this alongside it with a Grogu or having another throwback figure be thrown into this. Like, do you guys remember the original Star Wars Transformers line that they did back in the early 2000s? Right around the time that, what was it? It was part 3. I want to say it was Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, I want to say it was Revenge of the Sith, yeah. But like right around Revenge of the Sith, and right around the time they started to do more Star Wars television stuff, like Clone Wars and things of that nature. That toy line was wonderful. I had Obi-Wan Kenobi, I had Darth Vader that turned into the Death Star. Take note. That is a perfect way for people to get introduced to Transformers and Star Wars all at the same time. They did that with Marvel as well. Back in the early 2000s, again, with the crossover type lines that they were doing, you could get Iron Man turned into a car, Captain America turned into a jet, or was it the other way around? I can't remember off the top of my head. But you could get those ones. You could get Hulk that turned into an SUV, War Machine, Venom, Carnage. You could get all of your favorite characters. Heck, you could even get Ghost Rider, which was one that I really wanted as a kid, but never was able to acquire him. But point being is that they found ways to introduce you to multiple different franchises at once through one toy. And I think that we need to bring that back. I think we need to bring back the Star Wars line. I think we need to bring back the Marvel line. And I definitely want to see them do more with like other television shows. So, like, perhaps maybe something with Mobile Suit Gundam. I mean, obviously, we know that they've already done the, the Evangelion Optimus Prime. So, there's that. But, anyways, if I have to rank this thing to stop my continuance and rambling on, I'm going to rank this thing. I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to give this thing a 9.5 to 9.75 out of 10. The reason why it's not getting a full 10 out of 10 is because there's no Grogu. Grogu would have seriously made this set a 100% 10 out of 10, but as far as everything else goes, this is perfect. This is pretty perfect for a Star Wars figure. And with the amount of effects parts that come with it, again, they're gonna be only unique to his guy, but I can't say that this is bad. So, anyways, that is the review for the Transformers crossover Mandalorian N-1 Starfighter, and this is Thomas Fan 01 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Do not forget to check out Jordy's Rail videos, Patrick's Voice Rail, Alexander Rothschild, Riveted Rail Fan, Riveted Reviews. iStar552, Bravely GG, Take Along Productions, Kitten Cat 999, Lemon Lime Studios, Zaga and Oreo, Corey Tucker from Facebook. Oh, what the hey, we'll throw him out there, Winter Night, and Sentinel Edits. So do not forget to go check all of them out, and this is Thomas Fan 01 saying, again, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.